2 weeks. That's how long my wife and her book club decided I should be invisible. By day 14, I took it literally, and when she realized what that meant, the panic call started at 11 p.m. and didn't stop until dawn. But let me start from the beginning, because the ending will make your jaw drop. It was a Thursday, the kind of late afternoon when the sun slants low and golden. I'd finished grocery shopping and walked in around 4 p.m., arms full of bags. Laughter floated from the living room. Rachel's book club. 5 women clustered around our coffee table, wine glasses in hand, books stacked but clearly untouched. I smiled, announced my arrival. The room froze. 3 seconds of deliberate silence. Then, as if rehearsed, every pair of eyes turned elsewhere. Rachel didn't even glance at me. I stood, dumbfounded, grocery bags in hand. "What's going on?" I asked. "Nothing," one of them said. No acknowledgement, not even a flicker. They kept talking about some relationship psychology book they were supposedly discussing. I placed the bags down on the counter. "Rachel, everything okay?" She passed by, refilling her glass as if I were furniture. Invisible, irrelevant. And then I noticed the unnatural coordination, the precise timing in every glance, every pause. The book club left an hour later. Rachel went straight upstairs. No words. That night I lay awake. The silence replayed in my mind, punctuated by the memory of the book club's text. A vote, 4-1. The verdict, treat me like I didn't exist for 30 days, supposedly to teach me appreciation. Rachel thought she was in control. Friday morning I brewed coffee. Rachel made her own, in a separate mug. Tried small talk. "Sleep okay?" Silence. She made breakfast, leaving my usual bowl untouched, then vanished into her office. I realized immediately this wasn't a one-day stunt. This was the start of something long and grating. I worked from my desk. Rachel emerged for lunch but didn't offer me a bite. She laughed on phone calls near me, then froze into blankness the instant she hung up. I texted her, "Can we talk?" Typing dots appeared and vanished. No reply. And then it hit me. If she could ignore me, why shouldn't I? That evening I ordered takeout. 1 serving, ate deliberately at the table while she microwaved sad leftovers. I didn't offer her a bite. She glanced at my food, frustration flickering across her face. Her plan was simple. Keep serving her while being unseen. Mine was just starting. Saturday I slept in past 10 a.m., a break from the ritualistic yard work. Rachel knocked twice, heard me stirring, left. By noon I emerged to cook myself an elaborate breakfast, leaving a hint of controlled chaos in the kitchen. Then I pulled out my long-forgotten Canon and lenses. Photography. Something I hadn't touched seriously in years. Rachel had complained about the time, the money, the nonsense of it. Over time, I had surrendered, sold lenses, packed cameras away. Now, invisible, I could reclaim it. I laid the gear across the dining table, cleaning each lens carefully. Rachel descended, froze, mouth agape, then remembered the game. She stormed out, phone in hand, whispering to friends, "He's doing it on purpose." Yes, I was. Sunday 6 a.m., I drove to Stone Mountain. 4 hours among misted valleys, sunrise lighting everything golden, capturing moments I hadn't touched in years. No texts, no updates, just me and the lens. Returning home, I found Rachel pacing, relief flooding her face before it turned to anger when she realized she couldn't acknowledge me. I spent the afternoon editing photos while she hovered, doing meaningless tasks. She glimpsed the screen and looked away. That evening, I cooked pasta for myself. Perfect, single serving. She made a sparse salad, silent, and later cried upstairs. Every choice, every act was her punishment. Yet I had started reclaiming my life. Monday, day 5, I moved into the guest room, transforming it into a home office, hanging my photography prints, reclaiming space. Rachel watched, torn, closed herself off, slammed the door. Every change cracked her control. I even blocked off my evenings for photo sessions. Her baby shower planned for Saturday? Deleted. Stone Mountain instead. She gasped. Tuesday, day 6, a message from Derek, an old photography friend. Coffee, conversation, plans for future shoots. The world I'd been forced away from came alive again. Later, I cooked Korean beef tacos. The smell drew her downstairs. She watched, silent, as I plated perfection for myself. She made toast, a sad mirror of my past years of effort unappreciated. Around 2 p.m., her friend Monica arrived. A silent exchange, whispered warnings, but Rachel's obsession with the game was all-consuming. By Wednesday, I audited finances. Shared fund contributions skewed heavily in her favor. Printed spreadsheets with sticky notes, implemented new budgets. Rachel found it at noon, flared, called a friend. I had control she couldn't see. Emotional leverage. Thursday, day 8, I rearranged the living room, created a photography corner, removed 23 decorative pillows, replaced them with my prints. Rachel went pale, documented it with her phone. Later, I organized closets, discovered over $1,500 in unworn clothing. Boxed it for donation or sale, screaming, crying. The rules weren't mine, yet I was bending them to my advantage. She couldn't speak, couldn't stop me. Friday, day 9, I revived my dormant photography Instagram, posted recent shoots, likes, comments, messages from gallery owners and mentors. Rachel saw it all, face a mixture of jealousy and fury. She typed messages, deleted them, finally gave up. She was losing control over something she couldn't even name. Saturday, day 10, I drove to Arabia Mountain, sunrise to sunset, free among friends, reclaiming a part of my life she'd tried to erase. Rachel waited in a coffee shop, surveilling. The invisible man had become her obsession. Later, book club again. Monica questioned the game, but Rachel insisted on the 30-day rule. My focus, reclaim, rebuild, restart. By the 10th night, I joined an online photography forum, uploaded my work. 15 responses within an hour. Someone remembered me. Someone cared. And for the first time in years, I saw life beyond Rachel's control. Space in my home, financial boundaries, freedom, recognition, and respect. Sunday, day 11, I consulted divorce attorneys from my car, researching quietly. A woman, Lauren Mitchell, reminded me, the silent treatment is emotional abuse. Document everything. I began backing up portfolios, preparing for any eventuality. Rachel had tried to erase my identity. Now I was reconstructing it, piece by piece, lens by lens, print by print, moment by moment. Monday, day 12, I met Lauren in person. She reviewed evidence. We could file immediately. No children, separate accounts, house in both names. Reality hit. I could move out, reclaim my space, tour a one-bedroom near Piedmont Park. Perfect light, perfect independence. Back home, Rachel's energy radiated aggression. Hours of absence questioned, accusation, rage. I remained calm, did nothing, documented everything. The final 20 days were mine to reclaim, to own, to live without permission. Tuesday, day 13, I picked up the keys to my new apartment. Sunlight poured through massive windows, perfect for editing photos. I walked the empty space, camera in hand, imagining how I would fill it with my life again. Rachel didn't know yet. She couldn't acknowledge me. She was losing control inch by inch, and I could see it even from the corner of my mind. That evening, I stayed late editing photos. Rachel came down, laptop in hand, hovered near the doorway. Opened her mouth several times as if to ask about the women commenting on my Instagram posts, the gallery invites, the mentorship messages, but she couldn't speak. Every second she spent near me was a struggle against the rules she had created. She slammed the door when she left. Victory. Wednesday, day 14, she tried subtle manipulation, small notes on the fridge, questions about schedules, hints about our shared responsibilities. I ignored all of it. Instead, I photographed the golden hour at Piedmont Park, laughed with old friends, felt the freedom of connection I hadn't had in years. Each click of my shutter reminded me who I really was, the person I had almost lost. Thursday, day 15, I hosted a mini photo shoot in my apartment, invited a few local photographers over. Rachel came down for water. Her eyes widened at the scene. Lights, camera, creativity. She couldn't intervene, couldn't speak. The power dynamic had shifted. My invisible life had become my visible one, and hers, ironically, had shrunk. Friday, day of 16, I cooked again. Not for her, not for anyone but me. Korean beef tacos, homemade kimchi, everything meticulously plated. Rachel lingered at the edge of the kitchen, watching, silent. I could see the rage in her posture, the helplessness in her tight jaw. She couldn't admit she was losing. Saturday, day 17, book club again. I stayed in my office, door slightly ajar. They laughed, whispered, but their influence waned. Monica's doubt surfaced again. Jessica's quiet voice, clearer this time, challenged the absurdity. Rachel's obsession with control had created the perfect trap for her own ego. She had no idea she was losing more than a game. She was losing me. Sunday, day 18, I spent the morning walking through the city with my camera, reconnecting with the life I had ignored. Afternoon, I blocked out 2 hours to research photography workshops. Evening, I cooked a lavish dinner for myself, shared photos with friends online. Rachel hovered, her reflection in the glass of my screen a constant reminder of my regained agency. Monday, day 19, I revisited finances. Another spreadsheet, this one detailing discretionary spending versus contributions to the household. I left it on the counter. By the time Rachel found it, she went pale. She called a friend, voice sharp but contained. He's changing everything, can't touch him, not without acknowledging it. That day, the rules she set became her cage. Tuesday, day 20, I packed a small bag and left for a weekend photography trip with Derek and a few others. Rachel texted, "Where are you?" I ignored her. She called. I didn't pick up. Each step I took outside the house, every hour I spent behind the lens, felt like peeling layers off the suffocating life she had built around me. Wednesday, day 21, I returned. Rachel confronted me, not with words, but with fury in her eyes, hands trembling, trying to communicate silently. I smiled faintly, unpacked my camera, edited the sunrise shots. She couldn't touch me. Her power had evaporated. Thursday, day 22, I finalized the application for my new apartment. Signed, deposited, keys ready. Rachel lingered near the door while I packed essentials. She realized the move was inevitable. She couldn't stop me. Her silence had created my freedom. Friday, day 23, I spent the day photographing urban landscapes. Golden hour again, sunlight glinting off buildings. Each photo captured more than light. It captured liberation. Rachel texted once, then deleted it. She had no words to match her emotions. Saturday, day 24, Rachel's book club invaded the living room once more. I ignored them entirely, focused on post-processing a series of photos. They whispered, glanced, wondered aloud. But I didn't exist. Their carefully orchestrated power play had crumbled. Sunday, day 25, I visited a gallery I had always admired. I spoke with the curator, left a portfolio. Rachel would never know the doors I was opening, the opportunities I was claiming. Her world, defined by control, had no space for the life I had reclaimed. Monday, day 26, I finalized the lease on my apartment, moved boxes into the new space. For the first time in years, every possession, every photograph, every object reflected me, not her version of me. Tuesday, day 27, I sent emails to gallery owners, mentors, photography contacts. Invitations returned, interest rekindled. Rachel watched from the other room, silent, powerless. She had voted to make me invisible, but invisibility had become empowerment. Wednesday, day 28, I cooked a final meal in our shared kitchen, a single, perfect dish. Rachel sat across from me with a small salad, pretending to ignore the aroma, the sight, the success I had quietly built around her. She realized that the game she set had no winners for her. Thursday, day 29, I spent the day photographing the sunrise and editing prints. Rachel stayed glued to her laptop, lurking, monitoring, frustrated. I could feel her obsession, but it no longer frightened me. I had my life, my choices, my path. She had nothing she could claim. Friday, day 30, the final day of invisibility. I woke early, drove to Arabia Mountain, and watched the sun rise over fog-filled valleys. Every click of my shutter was a testament to reclaimed time, freedom, and self-respect. I returned home with prints in hand, ready to pack for my move. Rachel waited, silent, empty-handed, defeated by her own rules. I turned the key in the lock of my new apartment later that evening. Sunlight filled the space. My camera, my prints, my life, finally under my control. I realized something profound. The person I had been, buried under 5 years of compromise and invisibility, had never really disappeared. I had just been waiting for permission. Permission I had now given myself. Looking back, the lesson was simple but powerful. True freedom doesn't come from being recognized by those who try to control you. It comes from reclaiming your own space, your passions, your voice. I had survived a silent war, and in doing so, had rebuilt the life I deserved. If there's one thing I want anyone reading this to take away, it's this. Don't let anyone make you small. Document, prepare, reclaim. Protect your passions and boundaries fiercely. Your life is yours to live, and sometimes the silence is the loudest weapon you have.